Hey guys, welcome back to Cultivation with Christy. I'm Christy. If you're new here, hi, welcome. I am a gardener, homesteader, herbalist, scientist, all the things here in Zone 7B of North Alabama. This is my garden. I am finally putting the first real summer crops into the garden. I've kind of got them laid out here. They're going to be tomatoes. I also have onions in that bed, potatoes, garlic, and then I have a whole bed of spring stuff. I have calendula, I have peas that are in both sides of the trellis here. They're actually getting pretty big, finally. But I was going to walk you guys through what varieties I'm planting this year. Can't remember if I ended up doing 18 or 20 tomatoes plants last year, but I ended up with 18 this year, 18 plants, 12-ish varieties. So my thought this year, and I kind of did it last year, the ones down here are going to be the smaller cherry type tomato, and then I have the weird slicer type varieties, and then down here I have all of the like canning paste type. So from last year I've got Amish paste, and then San Marzano, and then I've got San Marzano. So I have four of those. And then striped Roma, and then this is Opalka. Let's see, Opalka. That's similar to a striped Roma. Then Dr. Witch's, which is a yellow tomato, Cherokee Purple, which is a purple tomato, large barred boar, and no, large barred boar has stripes. Then Boxcar Willie is just a regular old red tomato. Black brown boar has stripes. Green zebra actually ripens green. Then Brad's Atomic Grape and Napa Chardonnay. And what I forgot was over here in my jalapenos, some tomatoes came up. And they're either blue boarberry or Queen of the Night. So I'll probably plant one of these and just see what they are. Did I say wild boarberry? Is that over there? I need to go look. Okay, hang on. Okay, strike that. I did end up with 20 because I think the one in the jalapenos is the Queen of the Night because I didn't think any of those germinated, and then those did. And then I forgot to pull what I labeled as wild boarberry, but I think they're blue boar berries. Yeah, let me go check my seed packets. Yeah, that's what I did. I labeled it wild boarberry, but it is the blue boarberry. So the one that popped up in the jalapeno is likely the Queen of the Night. So I'm going to plant that one as well. So I'll end up with a total of 20 plants. And however many varieties that is, with the handful of San Marzano, Amish paste, and striped Roma. And while I'm over here, look at the strawberry ripening up very beautifully. No bird issues yet, no bug issues yet. We got a handful yesterday as well. So, lots of strawberries. And my calla lilies are coming up. I dug these up. They're coming up I need to just rip up the weed barrier and finish getting this border put in. All right, I am going to reorder these, like move them, not place an order by, and fit these last two varieties in here. And then I'll be back and show you how I'm planting them. I have a time lapse of me planting tomatoes year before last. If I think about it, I'll link the video down below. You can get an idea of what planting them is like, but I've got my supplies over here that I'm going to be planting with. So when I plant the first couple, I'll take you with me and then I'll be back. All right, I got all 20 spaced out. I'm gonna start at this end with the Amish paste. Now, what I do when I plant my tomatoes is I pick off these cotyledons. So these are the first leaves that come out of the seed when the plant is growing, and they're called cotyledons. And then the next are the first true leaves, and I break those off. And in this case, that's all there is. But if you had more leaves up until this, like, till his neck, you would take all of those off, because it will focus. Let me put something behind it. I can't do this one-handed. There you go. See all these? Well, saw all those little hairs on the stem of this? Come on. I know it's windy. There. See all those on the stem? All of those little hairs are going to turn into roots if we bury them. So I plant my tomatoes all the way up to the neck. So I am just gonna dig down with my hand, because I didn't bring out my gloves, and I did bring out my shovel, but here we are. And I'm going to make sure that when I put the plant in there, it's gonna be all the way up to the tippy top. Now, in the hole, I got my Dollar Tree special calcium carbonate Tums tablets. That's all it is, it's just a Tums. This is supposed to prevent blossom end rot, but if you saw last year, I still had blossom end rot in some of them, so maybe, maybe not, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And I also put in a handful of Epsom salt, and that's just your regular old unscented Epsom salt from the whatever care aisle in Walmart. And now I'm just gonna squeeze the sides of the pot to loosen it, and it should pull right out of the pot. See all my roots there? Then I'm gonna move the pot, and then you wanna make sure that you get all of the salt. You don't want the salt touching the roots. And then I'm gonna have to make my hole deeper. I undid it when I put the salt in there. And so I'm gonna put that in there, and then, which I haven't done yet, I'm gonna take my little bucket over here. And this tote that's been sitting in the garden is all of, well, not all, but some of my worm castings that I harvested. And it's growing cucumbers, because that's what I fed them all summer. And it's quite wet because I actually sprayed some water in here the other day to keep it from drying out. But this nice black magic here, even though I already added the compost on top of the beds, it wouldn't hurt to add some more, especially on those beds like where I'm gonna put the peppers that I didn't get to add compost to, like this one. Can never have too much compost as long as it's properly compost and not black cow. That's a story for another day. So I'm just gonna backfill since I have tons of compost. If you didn't have tons of compost, you just fill the hole with the dirt that you moved from the side. But since I have compost, I'm just going to bury the little tomato plant all the way up to his wee little neck. And temperatures here in North Alabama are mostly, well, this week they're going to be in the 60s at night. And so we can plant out. Now for like my peppers, it's going to be 40 this Friday last time I looked. So I'm going to wait until maybe after that, maybe next week, to plant the peppers. But everything else, I'm gonna plant all of my tomatoes the exact same way.